welcome or welcome back. My name is Chris, and I am so excited for this video because I am going to be participating in the Witchoween readathon hosted by Carly from Pastel Bookshelf. When she announced this, I immediately knew I was going to participate because I love witchy books so much. They are one of my favorite kind of books to read. So I have my handy dandy notebook here. For the prompts or the bingo card, we have purple cover, light a candle, a new author, witchy film, a free spell, autumn setting, witchy book, celestial cover, and make a potion. And I have a few books in mind on my bookshelf because I am constantly trying to read the books that I have and that are in my possession, whether that be library, audio, ebook, or on my physical shelf. So for purple cover, I actually have two in mind. One that I have already started and that I will be committing to this video. I am really enjoying it, and it is The Dying Place by Charlie Cox. This is also a new author to me, so I can technically take that out of the bingo card as well. But I'm gonna try to do everything individually. But either way, even if I do it multiple times, who cares? It's all about having fun and enjoying the books that you're reading. I was recommended to this by my friend on TikTok, and I found it for $5 at the bargain section in Books a Million. And I am really enjoying this so far. It's a police procedural detective type of thriller. It's actually a series following Alyssa Wyatt, and it's similar to most detective or police procedural series. You're following the detective on different cases. And I really do enjoy those kind of books, but I have to be in the mood for them. I really do, because you have to follow a lot. You have to really be engaged. You really have to pay attention because you can definitely miss something. So far, the writing in this book is done really well. I will say it's really detailed. And if it was another type of book, I would feel like this would be overly descriptive, but something about the way this author's writing style is, it's not making me feel like that. I'm actually really engaged and I'm really paying attention and I'm really wanting to know what's going to happen. So in this book, really interesting, has a really interesting concept. We're following Alyssa Wyatt. She is a detective and she just got assigned to a case that is really brutal. This is really dark, by the way. I would say like Karen Slaughter dark, so please check your trigger warnings. So, Alyssa Wyatt got assigned to a case, and a mutilated body of a woman was found in the New Mexico desert. But what's different about this body is they find a photograph in her mouth that was a murder victim 14 years ago. And our detective, Alyssa, was on that same case. So now this is definitely personal than she thinks or what anybody thinks. And she is determined to figure out what is going on when she discovers a little while later that another woman has been abducted and it may be connected to this case. So this just sounds so interesting, so dark and disturbing and gripping. I'm just really interested. This is also very character driven. We're learning more about Alyssa, the victims in this book, and we're also learning about their personalities. And it's just not like a surface level detective thriller. It just feels very real. It feels like I'm watching a TV show along the same lines of this. So I'm really enjoying that. It's playing like a movie in my head, which I love. The person that is abducting these women does very dark things to them. The abuse that these women are going through is brutal. I am like cringing at those parts. It is so hard to read. Very eager to see how this unfolds. So this will be our purple cover prompt slash new author. Potentially. I believe this is a new author for me as well. I always get confused with CJ Tudor and CJ Cook. So I don't think I've read from this author. And it's The Last Witch. And funny enough, Carly actually loves this book. So I definitely want to read it even more for this video because she loves this book. And I think I actually bought it per her recommendation. So this is also purple cover, new author. So I definitely want to jump into this one as well. But we'll see how I feel. I'll taste test it. And then for light a candle, we can always do that. Witchy film. I still don't know what witchy film I want to watch. Obviously, we have the OGs like The Craft, which, oh my gosh, like amazing. One of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, I'll see and I'll obviously show you guys when the time does come. This is definitely setting up spooky season so well. Like, I'm so excited. And then a book with an autumn setting. Honestly, I have no idea what book I am going to be reading for that prompt yet, but you'll know when I know. And then we have the witchy book, which I obviously can read The Last Witch, but I'm definitely going to try to read something else for a different prompt for that, especially. But I have a lot of witchy books on my shelf. One of them being Dark Sisters, which I've been meaning to get to. I actually found this, I think on Pango for like $5. And this is by Christy Demeester. And I heard such great things about this as well. This is a historical with different timelines, which are all buzzwords for me. So this is definitely something that I might be gravitating towards in this video for sure. Celestial cover, oh, that's going to be a tricky one. So I will have to look into my shelves and I'll figure it out and I'll show you guys when I know. Then last but not least is make a potion. And I have a fun drink idea for this. I was gifted this I want to say it's like a mixer. It comes in little packets and it literally looks like a potion. And you can put like tea, like herbal tea in it. You can mix it with like an alcoholic drink or whatever. You can literally do whatever you want with it. You could just put it with water or sparkling water if you would like. And it just sounds so cool. And I've been meaning to use it. So it's perfect to use it during this vlog. So I will definitely be making a potion with that. And also, I will be reading in this vlog The Whisper Man by Alex North. I want to watch the movie, but I want to read the book first. I've actually already started that and I'm really enjoying it. Like, it is so eerie. It's creepy. It has that like creepy kid trope. It has that creepy drawings from the kid trope. And I really like it. If you've read Hidden Pictures, it's kind of giving that vibe. And I loved Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. So that is going to be another book I'll be reading in this vlog. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and let's get started. Hello, good morning. So we have updates. I am roughly, I believe, 60% into The Dying Place, which is 200 pages. Something got really interesting. With the investigation, we found the mutilated body. We're trying to find the connection between the second person has now been abducted, and we're trying to find her before she ends up, obviously dead. Her sister calls her in as missing. They live together. We actually got some connections that were very interesting. Like, when you're learning about each person that knows Kennedy, the one that has been abducted, she runs a secluded track. The person that abducted her caught her from behind or just sneakily went behind her and abducted her. And obviously it's something that happens every day. Like, us women cannot even go for a freaking walk without fearing for our lives. It just brings a realness into the story. It's a reality. It happens every single day, and oh, it's gut-wrenching. It's gut-wrenching, especially as women, because obviously every gender goes through it, but us as women especially, we're way more vulnerable. We have such a higher risk for things like this to happen to us at any moment of time. It just brings more of that dread feeling while I was reading this story, and just putting myself in her shoes, and oh my goodness, it's just so sad to see what she's going through. She is being abused in horrible ways. Nothing related to like SA, just so I want to be like clear with people that may be triggered by that. Nothing has spoken about that as of right now. It's more so like physical abuse and mental abuse. It's horrible. I'm just sympathizing with her. I just feel so bad. I'm rooting for her, to get through this and to like see the other side and try to get rescued. And then you're following the investigation, and she was dating her neighbor. I'm just gonna say her neighbor because I don't want to be too much, because I'd rather people go into this not knowing too much, because I was like, what? Like, what? It was such a great turn into the story, and it made me want to keep reading and see what was going on. 55-60% mark, we are getting a little bit of reveals. They might not be the bad guy. It's just making that excitement in the investigation, like, oh my god, we're getting closer. So needless to say, I'm really enjoying this. The writing style, I think some people will probably have some issues with, because this author and I think I touched on it a little bit in the intro, she is overly detailed, overly descriptive in some moments. And in some moments, like recently, she was talking about her daughter. Her daughter's 21 and she's about to get married. So she's planning her wedding and she's kind of stressed out about the wedding. I don't really care about that. Like, they were trying to talk about the wedding and her daughter and like her son, and they're just having this conversation. And I'm like, does this have to do anything with the actual plot of the book? And like, I didn't really care for that. So I was just like kind of skimming and reading fast around it. But this is obviously a series, interconnected or standalone series, because although we're following the same detective in each book and different cases, we're also kind of connecting with Alyssa and wanting to know her life journey. So if someone reads like the first book and is so interested in Alyssa and wants to see her growth through the years, through the books, I can see obviously a reader in that sense really enjoying that. But I'm jumping into book 5 as my first book. And maybe if I read book 1, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I wanna know more. And I wanna be at that point where I'm like, oh, I want to know more about her life. Like, I want to connect with her more. So it really depends on what kind of reader you are. As for me, I'm not minding it as much, but there are certain moments where I'm like, okay, don't care about that. Skim, skim, skim. Like, I want to get back into the investigation. So I do want to point that out. Though it is a little bit over descriptive sometimes, it just feels more so like a movie or show. So, you know, it's kind of like a moment. And then as for the Whisper Man, I'm really liking this too. This is feeling so eerie and like so creepy. And just the story alone, like, I have no idea like where it's going. And we did kind of get like a little reveal of something in regards to our main character, Tom. Our main character, that he just moved into this house. I don't think I told you guys about this book. So yeah, okay, hold on. Let me tell you more about the book. Whisper Man is a predator that was abducting children and kind of grooming them and finding children that were sad and lonely and preying on that. And that he would go to their windows and whisper to them and like befriend them and groom them and then take them. He's been in jail and it's been like 20 years since he's been incarcerated, and they just found a small boy's remains. And oh, one thing about me, when it comes to children in movies and books that are passed away, that have been murdered, like anything bad has to do with children, that it's not like it's a trigger for me, because although it's gut-wrenching, like I can still watch it. It doesn't feel like a trigger, but it really hurts me. Oh my gosh. Like, it immediately gets me emotional. So this story is obviously about this. So definitely, if this is not your cup of tea, please read with caution. But yeah, I'm just feeling so deeply for this story already. And so they find this child's remains. They're kind of confused because obviously the guy that is, his MO, the person that's in jail, his MO looks exactly like how this kid's remains were left. So they're like, how is this possible? Because he's been in jail. So now they're trying to investigate like who could possibly be doing this. We're following the detectives and we're also following Tom, and which they kind of connect because of the investigation. Tom just became a widow about a year ago. His wife passed away. He has a small child, I think he's 7, and his name is Jake. And so it's just him, but Jake is a little bit of like a particular unique kind of child. He acts very mature for his age. And so he catches things a lot. Like, he reads your body language. He's very observant. So him and his son have a connection, but then there's kind of this disconnect. Tom is trying to move in or buy a home for him and Jake because they want a fresh start. So they moved into a new area. They're trying to get this house. And while Tom is trying to find houses and trying to get mortgage going and everything like that, Jake is into a child care program while he's doing these errands so that he's not taking Jake with him. And in this childcare program, there's obviously other children that he's playing with. He seems like a very isolated child. He doesn't really like playing with other children, but he connects with this young girl. And immediately the young girl, she's telling him like, do you remember what I told you? And he's like, yeah, I remember. She goes, okay, tell me, repeat it again, repeat it again. He repeats what she tells him, and it seems so creepy because it's talking about like not leaving your door closed at night, don't talk to someone that whispers in your window. So this little girl knows something, but we're like, what the heck is going on? Because it's very early in the story. But then when Jake's dad comes to pick him up from school, he's like, who are you talking to? He's like, no, nobody, nobody. So is this girl real? Like, I'm like, is this girl real, or is this of imagination, or like what's going on? Does Jake have these like supernatural abilities that he could see the ghosts, or I don't know. Like, I don't know where we're at right now. Like, that's just like my thoughts, and that's how I'm like interpreting things. Later on, they get the house, so they go to this house, but the house has a history. And yeah, let's just say the investigation leads Tom into it, and he's now part of this investigation. He's part of the town where these children were abducted 20 years ago. One of the detectives actually goes to the prison to talk to the Whisper Man, and the Whisper Man sounds so creepy. This is gonna translate so well as a movie, and I think I'm gonna really love the book, but I think I'm really gonna like the show as well, because I can't wait to really picture these people, how they're being written, like, because the way it's written is so creepy. And there's actually moments where Tom is in his house, because Tom is an author, so he's constantly like, you know, writing on his computer and stuff like that, and Jake is playing in his room, and he'll overhear Jake like kind of talking to himself, but then the other person that is talking doesn't sound like Jake. It sounds like something else. And Tom is just like, that can't be him talking as two people. It sounds like an older person. And Tom is kind of like overhearing this. And in the audiobook, they do a part where they sound like the whoever it is. And it sounded so creepy. I was like, oh my God, the mood is definitely like an eeriness, and it's just really, really good. It's really good. So two crime police procedural type of books, but two different vibes. So I'm having a really good time with both of them. I think this is great to start off spooky season with. And yeah, I'm gonna be continuing to read The Dying Place. I think I will be finishing The Whisper Man today, because I only have like 3 hours left in the audio. And then The Dying Place, I'm really trying to finish by tomorrow, because I only have a little bit over 100 pages left, so I can definitely finish this by tomorrow. So the next update I'll give you guys is finishing these both books and going on to the next book. I have finished The Dying Place by Charlie Cox. I really enjoyed this, and I think I found a new author that I trust for crime thrillers, police procedural type of books, because although the only critique I will say, I wound up rating this a 4.25 stars. This kept me very interested throughout the whole book. I feel like the investigation definitely kept me gripped. It actually had me a little bit emotional too, because you're just rooting for Kennedy to survive and to make it out. And at the end, I did not expect the person that was doing all of this heinous crimes. I was like, huh? What? Like, I had such a reaction to that. I had to literally skim back to the beginning of the book, and I'm like, refresh my memory of who this person was. And then I was like, oh, that person. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, it was just such a reaction. So for a book to give me that reaction, love. I just really, really enjoyed that feeling and how everything unfolded at the end. And I really liked it. As for The Whisper Man, no update because after I finished that, it was the weekend, so I was just spending time with my family. We went fishing yesterday, just in the moment, just being around my family and just enjoying some family time. So that's what we did. And today I will be finishing The Whisper Man. I have like literally 3 hours left in the audio. I'm absolutely finishing that. I'm enjoying that one as well, and I really can't wait for the adaptation. And as for my next physical read, I am going to be starting The Whitechapel Full Moon Society by Elizabeth DeLozier. This is actually a collaboration that I'm doing on TikTok. Dutton reached out to me wanting to collab for this book, so I wanted to read it before, obviously, before I make my video and stuff. And this just sounds like something I would enjoy, because this is a retelling of Jack the Ripper. And to be honest, I didn't know much about Jack the Ripper. I really didn't. And I was like, damn, I don't think I've ever did a deep dive on Jack the Ripper. And it's just, I did a little bit of deep dive yesterday when I was reading a little bit about this book, and I'm like, holy cow, this is so interesting, historical as well, and I love historical books. So we're set in London in 1888 when Queen Victoria reigns and Jack the Ripper terrorizes the East End. We're following Caroline Foster, and she arrives at the Whitechapel Full Moon Society in search of her missing brother. She finds a dilapidated facade bellying an interior as opulent as any exclusive gentleman's club. In exchange for room and board, Caroline is hired as the full moon's maid, where she is given 3 orders. Don't ask personal questions, stay out of the iron-barred room on the 2nd floor, and remain in your bedroom from sunup to sundown on the full moon. It says when it's revealed that the previous maid was murdered, an early victim of Jack the Ripper, and that her brother has left behind no answers, only new questions, Caroline begins to suspect her host might be hiding something. Bodies start turning up at the society. Caroline fears she may have unwittingly stumbled into a bedtime story, the kind with monsters and curses, family secrets, and ancient lore. And if she can't unravel the board house's mystery before the next full moon, she might become the Ripper's last victim. If you don't know, Jack the Ripper was a serial killer. Back in 1888, he was preying on women that were just from like low income areas. And yeah, he was very brutal. I think in all it was 5 women, but they think that it was definitely more than that. And then one day it just stopped. And he was never caught. It was unsolved. So oh my gosh, like I'm definitely gonna do more of a deep dive because that whole case sounds so interesting. But yeah, I think this is going to be really fun, and I saw a couple of reviews on this, and it is a new release. It will be coming out on August 25th. It just makes you really think, and so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I did read a couple of chapters, and I'm already getting sucked into the story. I'm getting sucked back into 1888. I just love historical books. Like, they just have so much substance, and I just love it. The writing is very beautiful and kind of lyrical. I have a little update on the Whitechapel Full Moon Society. Right in the beginning, we're following Caroline on a train. She is on her way to the Whitechapel. She is trying to find her brother that wrote her a letter a few months ago. We're in September of 1888, and apparently the last letter she received from him was in June. I believe it's her father that just passed away, and he has left her with a ton of debt that she had to give up the house, give up the furniture, give up everything she's owned to pay for this debt. So she has nothing. So she came from money and now has nothing. Her parents are deceased, and she now only has her brother. And apparently everyone thinks her brother is dead, but she's the only one that knows that he's alive still. And the last time she's heard of him was in June when he wrote a letter, and the letter was a little cryptic. It was pretty much telling her to stay where she is and to not look for him and not to go to London to find him. But what does our friend Caroline do? She goes to London and finds him. I'm like, girl, listen to your damn brother. So she's on her way, she's on a train, and immediately in her thoughts and in her inner dialogue, I'm really liking her personality. Although she seems very naive because she's been very sheltered, you can tell, in her upbringing. And so she feels very naive, very young-minded. So this is her first time kind of venturing out alone. And in 1888, you not having a companion, or usually women have to be like escorted with a man wherever they go and have a companion, and she doesn't have a companion. So a lot of people are kind of side-eyeing her. It's her first time in London, and when she gets off the train, she's hit with the realization of how dirty London is, and she's just in shock. She's like, oh my god, there's poop everywhere from like the horses, it smells, there's a lot of like people that look very dirty and not well kept. She's like, oh my god, I can't believe this is what London is. She's trying to navigate how to get to her brother, and the last place she knew where he was the Whitechapel. I just love this era. I love reading about this era. I love anything that has to do with the 1800s and how everything is explained in the book. Like I can definitely envision this being like a movie. It's definitely playing like a movie in my head for sure. And so she's on her way now to the Whitechapel. She gets there and she sees how big and like Victorian this building is. And she's walking to the door. She's greeted by, I'm assuming, the headmistress or the person in charge. She's thinking she needs a room to stay in. And the woman's like, we're full occupancy, like we have no more rooms. You can try down the block, the other facility. And she's like, I'm not here for a room. Like, I'm here to see Charlie. Is he here? And she's like, honey, no one's seen Charlie since June. So sorry, I can't help you. And she's like quickly to dismiss Caroline. And Caroline's like now freaking out because she doesn't know anyone in London. She's all alone and her brother is apparently missing. And so she kind of like thinks on her feet and she's like, okay, well, I see you have a sign for a maid position. Is it still open? And the lady is like, have you done maid? Because she doesn't really look like she has ever been a maid. And now Caroline has to have this like facade, like she was a maid at her old residence, but they moved and they don't need her anymore. This and that. She just tells the whole story. She's kind of giving her a fake last name, say this facade a bit better. And so the lady just kind of takes her up for it. She's like, okay, let me show you around. Let's have a talk, like pretty much interviewing her. And she gives her the job. She goes to her room and she's just like trying to devise a plan, pretty much. She's trying to get a plan going. She doesn't know what her next steps are, but she's gonna try to like do amateur sleuthing in the building to get information on her brother's whereabouts. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and everything seems very mysterious. There's definitely some secrets for sure, and a couple other workers in the building are kind of hinting at her with certain things, and you're just like, I need to know what's going on. Like, I need to know what's going on. So I'm invested. I'm really enjoying the setup. I'm really enjoying everything. Like, I don't have anything to complain as of right now. So really, really good so far. I wanted to also share with you guys my Aardvark. I freaking love Aardvark. It's my favorite time of the month. You can use code Crisreads for your first box for $4 with free shipping. And oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited. I went a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The first beautiful, y'all, you guys know how much I love a pink cover, and this is pink horror. Oh my gosh, dude, are you serious? Look at this beautiful. Oh my god, this is perfection. Literally perfection. Ellie Snow, she blurbed it and she said, a gut punch of a book, chock full of queerness and revenge. I'm so excited, and I will be reading this very, very soon. Very, very soon. And the next one I got, because I do have the book 1 and book 2 from Aardvark as well, and the book 3 just came out, and dude, I think this is my favorite cover by far. And if you haven't read this series, it's the Tainted Cup. The first book is the Tainted Cup. The second book, I can't tell you that because I forgot, but it's from Robert Jackson Bennett. I did read the first book already and I loved it. It's kind of like cozy mystery and plant horror, or botanical horror, if I'm not mistaken. And oh my gosh, the first book just was so good. It was funny, it was cozy, it had that mystery element, which I loved. So I do have book 2, which I just got the audiobook for, so I'm gonna read that soon too. And then book 3, which is Trade of Blood. Look at that detail. That is beautiful. And this is a special edition copy. It's just beautifully foiled, and just the detail. Whoever did the artwork for this book did such a phenomenal job. I think this is absolutely stunning. And yeah, I'm just glad to have now the full series on my shelves. And the last book I got was from Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and this is The Intrigue. And this is her newest release, and this sounds really, really fun. This is a historical, it's not my favorite cover, but it's not bad. I mean, it's fine. We're following in the 1940s in Mexico in this book. We're following a man that likes to con women and take all their money, pretty much. He's trying to find his next victim. I don't know, this sounded really interesting, so I'm going to check it out. So that is what I got for my Aardvark. I think, oh man, this month was really, really good picks. Sounds like a Chucky retelling, in my opinion. It says, Lucy McQuinn has been murdered, but she's not about to go quietly. If she doesn't get to keep breathing, then neither does Kyle, her killer. Possessing the body of an antique doll, she sets out on a quest for revenge. But it's hard when you're 18 inches tall and made from porcelain. Dude, are you serious? That sounds so good. Oh my gosh, I have to bring this with me today because I just want to read a little bit of it. I actually read Muñeca, I think in June, and it's a novella. I think it's 160 pages or something like that. And in that book, it had a Chucky kind of vibe to it in one of the scenes, and I ate that up. It was so good. I think this is like a 5-star prediction, I hope. But I'm gonna take this with me because either way, I want to take some pictures at the coffee shop that I go to. But this, I'm definitely gonna get a good chunk out of it read at the coffee shop. Hello friends, good morning. I have updates. I finished this morning the Whitechapel Full Moon Society and I'm rating this 4 stars. I devoured this. I was gripped to this story, and although some twists I can see coming, there was a couple of twists in here. I wouldn't say twists, I would say more of like reveals that I was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's like what a perfect connection it made to the plot." When you read it, it will make more sense, but I really had a good time. This is definitely more of like a mystery, and it had a humor in it. It had found family. It had some really emotional moments where you just felt for certain characters in this book. And I really enjoyed Jack the Ripper retelling aspect. I didn't know much about Jack the Ripper prior to this, and the author's note, she does go on to explain or highlight the actual victims of Jack the Ripper. And there was actually a character in here that was a real person, and certain aspects of that character in the book was what happened in real life. And I just thought that just added so much to the story, and I just love that she did this. The author just beautiful way of writing, absolutely beautiful. I envisioned everything. This played literally like a movie, and I just love Victorian settings, like how everything closed out, no loose ends, and it was just very heartwarming, but also kind of sad. I would recommend this if you're into mystery with a historical setting and very gruesome. As for our next read, guys, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm in the mood for, so I will be doing a taste test with some of the books. I obviously want to read a witchy book because, we're still trying to do Witchoween. Even though I'm just going with the flow, I am a mood reader. I can't force myself to read something I'm not into at the moment. So I'm going to bring a couple of books with me out and about today. I'll read a few chapters, and whatever grabs me, grabs me. But I will be bringing She's a Doll. I already have it in my little book bag, and I definitely want to read some of that because although I don't know if it's witchy elements, but it's possession, it's still like in that kind of like realm, because her spirit is in a doll. So I don't know. It feels very witchy to me. So I feel like it's like good for this video. But I'm also gonna bring The Last Witch by CJ Cook because I really, really want to read this in this vlog. Not only because Carly loved this book, but hello, it's a witch book. It's perfect for this. So I definitely want to taste test this. I will update you guys when I have more thoughts on the books I'm reading. Don't be mad at me. But I do have some reading updates. I know I did a lot of B-roll on the weekend. I wound up having a nice little mental health walk on Saturday, and I walked to the mall. It's like 20-minute walk-ish, and it was really nice. I really needed that. I've been kind of just in a little bit of a stressful mental mood. Some things have happened recently in my life, and you know, taking me a lot of patience these days. So that's also to say my reason to picking my next read, which I'm sure you saw in the B-roll, was She's a Doll. I started it at the mall, and I know I showed the B-roll where I was reading. I love that the malls, or at least my mall, I don't know if anyone, if other malls are doing it, but I feel like it's so cool that they're making like little living rooms inside the mall, like sporadically. It was so cozy. I literally felt like I was in someone's living room, and I didn't feel awkward at all with all the people just walking around. Like I was in my own little world. I had my gothic music playing in my headphones, and I started reading this. When I tell you, this grabbed me, I could not stop reading. I was transported. I felt like I was watching a movie. This was so good. I'm still reading it. I am about 85% into it. I literally have less than 100 pages left because I've just been glued. Chuck Tingle, that he has like a mask, like he wears a mask everywhere so no one knows his identity. And this is kind of like similar. It's literally a doll that is so freaking creepy and so cool. So in this book, we know Lucy got murdered. Lucy's murdered. Immediately, we find out within like 20 pages that she gets murdered. Where she gets murdered is in her house, in her grandma's house, and in the room that she was in while she was dying. In the top of the bookshelf, there was 3 porcelain dolls, and when they explained how her spirit went into the doll, I thought it was really, really cool and kind of, I don't want to say creative because obviously, like, all possession stories happen that way, but I just really like how they explained it. And I'm really loving the writing. I'm loving the writing. This has been so easy to just read and understand and consume and then be entertained. Like, I'm not having any issues with reading this. I'm reading it actually too fast. I'm having the best time. Following Lucy's inner dialogue is so entertaining. She's sarcastic, she's funny, she just feels very real, and she's kind of just like a go with the flow, shit sucks type of girl, and like life is just whatever, and she's just doing her own thing. And I just really love her personality. I love it. And it's sad that she dies because I'm like, damn, dude, like, how is this going to end where I'm going to feel happy for her? Obviously, if she gets justice, you know what I mean? But it's like, I want her to live. And I don't know if that's going to happen, clearly, but it really sucks that she died. But this book, she goes into the doll. She's learning how to navigate being a doll because it's just not easy. She doesn't just like, oh, lift my arm up. Like, she's learning to be like this new body of hers. She's trying to learn how to move and talk or and do all the things that she could do. And I love a good possession story. I just love it. I eat it up every single time. Time runs a little differently when she's dead. She can go into these like blackout stages, and then it'll be like a year later type of thing. And little by little, like as we keep reading, she gets better at doing this like time thing and how to black out and not black out and like be in the moment more. So, we're just learning. We're learning as she's learning. So years passed, and everything here is in the blurb. She winds up getting thrown out, and a few dumpster divers find her, and I guess they own a antique shop or like an antique shop, and they try to sell her to make a profit. So she's now in this little like glass case being displayed to be sold off. But she's like broken and stuff, so she doesn't get sold off right away. And she's constantly just talking in her head. Like, she's just trying to think of a plan, think of what her next step is going to be and everything. So while she's like doing that on a day-to-day basis, she sees someone, a worker, that's like tidying up, and she's like putting things on the shelf. And she responds to Lucy. She tells her to shut up. And Lucy's just like, did she hear me? What the fuck? Did she just hear me? And so she does. She hears her. Lucy winds up knowing this girl. And so at first their friendship is a little like, shut up, you're in my head. Like, she doesn't believe her. Like, Nicola, that's her name. She thinks that it's in her head. She thinks that she is losing her mind because she has had episodes in the past. So she's literally thinking it's all in her head. And she also has hearing loss. So she wears a hearing aid. So we're thinking because of the hearing aid, she can hear Lucy. So she's thinking like, this is just all in my head, be quiet, like, you're not real, all this stuff. Until, they talk and all this stuff, and Nicola winds up buying her and taking her home with her, and the story kind of goes from there. I feel like anything else, I feel like you should read for yourself. But this is strongly about friendship and about their friendship. Now, in the description, this says queer, and I it doesn't really Lucy doesn't identify herself. She doesn't say that she likes girls or boys, but she is definitely complimenting a lot of women and girls that she sees in her neighborhood prior to her death and stuff. I really wish there was more queer, to be honest. I wish there was more queer. And another thing too, I want more rage. Yeah, I want more rage because like I told you guys a little earlier, I have just been in this mood of like, oh my goodness, why do things have to happen back to back in life that just really drags you down? You know, you that drag down feeling. I feel a little bit defeated, and I'm feeling a little bit of that rage. And I wanted to when I started reading this, I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I'm in the mood for. I need a little bit of a female rage story. So although it's been giving a little bit, it definitely needs more. I wish there was so much more female rage, but nonetheless, I'm still really enjoying it. And so right now, they have hatched a plan to pretty much make Kyle not only make his life a living hell because he deserves it, also trying to make him confess or find some type of evidence to so that the police can investigate him and he can get what he deserves pretty much. So that's kind of where we're at. We have a few plans in motion that haven't gone so great, and then some kind of went okay, and now they're on another plan. And some people have come into it has been brought into the story that may be that Lucy wasn't his only victim. The story's definitely getting interesting. Like I said, I have less than 100 pages, so I'm really hoping that it really packs a punch. So let's finish it. I hate Kyle. I freaking hate him. Why'd you do that to me, Kyle? I never did anything to you that you didn't want. She's confronting him. Oh my god. And it's so good because I don't want to say what she looks like because I feel like it's better, more entertaining if you find out yourself. But I'm just gonna say one thing: Toy Story. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh my god. She was never considered dead. She was missing because they never found her body. So they think that she just ran away all these years. And so no one really took it serious. I really enjoyed that. That ending was really good as for like heartfelt, and man, I got a little emotional, I'm not gonna lie. Like I really felt for Lucy, and I loved her as a character. I loved her. Oh my goodness. I just loved being in her head. She was so funny, so sarcastic, and all her references with like all her references were really based on the early 2000s, and I just love that. I do feel like I wanted more from the rage for sure. I really did. I wanted her to really pack that punch. But I'm settling on a 4 star. This was incredible. I will read everything this author writes. I freaking love this. I love the cover. And yeah, that those are like my only critiques, that I wanted more rage. And what else did I say? I'm still like still soaking in everything I just read, but I devoured this. I really like every time I had time to sit down and read, I just could not stop reading. I had to force myself to stop. This is definitely not going to be for everyone though. I could see a lot of people not really liking it, but I think I read this at the right time, and for me, I really enjoyed it. I really did. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be for everyone. I promise, promise. The next book I pick up is a witch book. So I am gonna start The Last Witch by CJ Cook. It's in the car, so I'm not gonna obviously get that right now. I am gonna start that next for my physical read. Yeah, the next two books will be witchy themes. Finally. I'm sorry. I know you're like,
A witchy video, but where the hell are all the witchy books?
I hear you. I hear you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it is gonna happen, I promise. So either way, I hope you're still enjoying the vlog. Just gonna be sharing and hanging out. I'll check in with you guys when I have more updates. Good morning, friends. So I wound up getting a little mic on Amazon, and I just think this is such a cute addition, especially if you do content. So, and it's easier to hold. So I hope the audio is good. But I have started The Last Witch by CJ Cook, and I'm not far in. I'm only like maybe 7%. I think I'm 50 or 60 pages in, but I am enjoying it. These are just my kind of books. You know, it's historical, it's witchy, it's gothic, very eerie and mysterious. It's giving me all the vibes that I really love in my books, especially my witchy books. So far the setup I'm really enjoying. But we are following a woman named Helena, and she is married to this man named Sebastian. They've been married for 8 years, I believe. They have been trying to conceive. Right away, we're learning that their marriage was arranged, especially during this time, I believe. What is the year? So the year is 1485. So we're really, really historical. We're really back there. Following Helena, and right away, I really enjoy Helena being in her head. I really like her personality. She has some spunk to her. But obviously, during this time, women didn't have a lot of say, and they were deemed hysterical. They were deemed witches for pretty much existing, if you really think about it. They have to abide by everything their husband says. I was immediately like pissed off. Let me tell you, I was so annoyed. I am a huge feminist. I love supporting women. I love women supporting women. And, nothing grinds my gears more than a man telling a woman that they are nothing. They have to listen to their husbands or else. And oh gosh, man, it's like, ooh, it really, really boils my insides. So obviously it's meant to do that. This book is meant to make you feel like that. And we're learning that Sebastian, her husband, is an absolute asshole, piece of shit. I can't stand him. Helena has a best friend named Anna, and she's been waiting for Anna to write to her. It's been quite a while since she's written to her, and she thinks that's weird. That's not really normal for Anna to do. She decides to write to Anna. She's been writing to her, but she hasn't got a response. She writes to Anna one more time, and then the next day she actually gets a letter from Anna, but it's not from Anna, it's actually from her husband to let her know that sadly Anna was accused of being a witch along with their 6-year-old daughter were burned at the stake. This obviously is devastating to Helena. She can't believe it. She's in mourning, and Helena has a handsmaid. Her name is Sophie, and they're like best friends. Sophie is not just her handmaid, like she is part of her family. Helena and her have like a great friendship. And Sophie's mom used to be Anna's family's handmaid. So Sophie actually grew up with Anna. So they are very close to Anna, all of them. And so they're kind of grieving together. The priest that accused them of witchcraft has now called another priest or pastor to help him in Helena's town to find more witches, because this town has so much women, like overpopulation of women, that this place has to have witches. This man just hates women. Literally, he hates them. And right now, the page that I just read, I had to like take a breather because I was getting very like upset. He brought in another pastor. The pastor just got there. The archbishop is talking to George, and he's letting George know about this witch pandemic. And George is like, okay, that's scary. We got to handle it. But how are we, like, what's the court system that we're doing? How are these witches defending themselves? Are they going to have a lawyer? Like, how's this going to go? And the bishop is like, what are you talking about? I say they're witches, they're dead. We're killing them. We're going to put them in the stake, in the fire. And so George is like, what? So we're not really going to give them a try. We're not even going to give them a chance to survive. And yeah, this archbishop is just like a total piece of shit. And he's like, no, 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 because women are foul. He's talking to George. This is the archbishop. He goes, where there are women, there are witches. Kramer says gravely, this is why I ask, you see. And if there are many women in Innsbruck, which is the city that they're in, it gives me cause for concern. They are liars by nature. Their sex is weaker than ours, as you well know. Sir, a woman gave birth to you. A woman created you. Oh my gosh. I can't even get into that conversation because, boy, I'll be here for a long time. So now George is obviously, he doesn't want to have any light on him because George hides a secret. George is gay. He is gay. And obviously, being gay at this time in the 1400s, that's not good. It's not good. I don't know why. Why does it bother people? But it does. It gets them riled up. And he doesn't want to be burned with the stake with the witches. So he has to hide this secret from the father and everyone else. So in order to protect him, he is just going with it. But I think George is gonna prevail later in the story. I think George is gonna be part of the girls. He's gonna join the witches with the brooms. I hope. I hope. I hope George doesn't let us down. Seriously. So George is just trying to grapple with what the heck is going on. So we're getting his POV, we're getting Helena's POV, and Helena is also kind of like seeing stuff. She keeps seeing stuff like in the corner of her eye, and she's thinking, oh, it's just a trick of the light. That's not, nothing's there. Because when she turns, there's nothing there. But I think Anna and her daughter are trying to get in her head. They're trying to let her know what happened and trying to communicate with her. In the synopsis, it says Helena winds up defending or speaking for someone, I guess that's accused of being a witch, and she gets accused of being a witch, and now she's incarcerated. We haven't got there yet, but she gets incarcerated. Helena must find the courage to risk her life by standing up to a man determined to paint her as the most wicked of all. So far, so good. So I am going to be dedicating my time with that. I'm back from the cafe. It was really nice. I had some tacos and some coffee and I read for a little bit. I didn't get any footage because it was pretty packed and I wasn't in the mood for it today. And I was a little tired. So I just kind of wanted to be in my bed and be lazy before I have to pick up my kids from school. I'm watching Gabby Reed's new video for background noise, and also because she's reading the new Jason Rekulak book that's coming out in October. I actually just requested it on a NetGalley, so I'm hoping I get it because I loved Hidden Pictures. That's the only book I read from him because the other book he came out with, it didn't look like my type of book and I wasn't hearing great things about it, so I just skipped it, but eventually maybe I'll read it. But anyway, watching that and it just feels so cozy and it's kind of like gloomy outside. So I'm just reading my book. The amount of times that I've cursed this priest, it's a lot. This man is so, oh my gosh, he's the worst. He's the worst. I'm tabbing all the spots where it gets me really frustrated and angry. Hope he gets what he deserves, honestly. Other than feeling rage right now, I'm enjoying it. When I came back from the cafe, I actually had a package. I got a book from Dutton, and I love Dutton. They sent me the best books, and this one is An Immaculate Deception by Isabella Levino, and this is a debut novel. This cover alone is absolutely stunning. This cover is beautiful. This is giving goth. It's giving mystery. I'm just obsessed with it. I love it. Oh, the pink clouds. Oh my goodness. I love it. It's gonna be out September 1st. Good morning, friends. It is Monday morning and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the Monday. My hair is oily as hell. I have to wash it today or tomorrow. Honestly, I'm not in the mood. I slept like 3 hours yesterday. But I do have some reading updates. And I have just been trying to figure out what my next read is per what prompt I need to do. And I fear this video is going to be really, really long. So I'm trying to make our next read our last read. So or not really our next read, because I'm actually listening to an audiobook. It doesn't it doesn't go by with any prompts. I'm just reading it because I'm really enjoying it. So I'll just give you like little updates here and there about it, but it's surprising me and I'm really excited about it. So that one I'm talking about is it's an audiobook and I also have the physical copy. And not only that, but I really like this cover. It's One of Us by JT Ellison. I've never read from this author before. I've just been in kind of a mood for a good thriller. And this is straight from the beginning chapters right into the drama. And I'm really liking it. And the audiobook is actually narrated by Julia Whalen. I love her narration. I love her narration. So she's definitely heightening that experience for me. So I'm reading it and listening to it. And this is just really fun right now. Like I'm really in the mood for like some just a fast-paced popcorn thriller. And this is definitely doing that for me. So if you don't know what this book is about, honestly, I went into it fairly blind. All I know is there is a husband and wife. They are having trouble conceiving a child and they're having fertility issues. And one day, police officers end up at their doorstep and they are saying that her husband's DNA was linked to a murder investigation. And she's like, well, how is this so? Like he's been here, like he couldn't have done it. And the husband's like, no, absolutely not. And the police were like, well, we know you didn't do it, but your son did it. And he goes, he's like, I don't have a child. We've been actually having fertility issues. I've been married to my wife for so and so many years. I don't have any children. And the police are like, well, you do, sir. You do have a child. So now we have to kind of go backtrack your sexual history and your partners so that we can find this killer on the loose. And the wife is just like distraught because she's like, what do you mean you have a child? And now we're kind of like going back to his history and learning secrets about him, but the wife also has secrets. It's very drama filled, very engaging, and it's just giving every chapter, it's giving just enough drama for you to be like, oh my god, what is going on, dude? What, I need to know more. So I'm really really enjoying this so far. So that is another book I'm reading. Now, I forgot, I have to give you guys an update. I did finish The Last Witch on Saturday. I am so sad about this update. This book, I had so much potential. This was like a 5-star prediction, I swear. The Last Witch. I will be unhauling this. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. I rated this a 2.5 star. This went from a 5-star feeling to a 4-star feeling, and then gradually going down and down and down until I finished that last page. This was 90% aggravating versus entertaining. And I understand that being angry is what you're supposed to feel by reading this because there's so many misogynistic piece of craps in this book. And this has some truth to it. This is loosely based on true events and true people, and I really appreciated that. I really did, and I liked how CJ Cook explained that in the author's note and her research and everything. I appreciate that so much, but this could have been so much better. The witchy elements, first of all, it says witch in the dang title. We got like 3 scenes of witchiness. And when those times were happening and when those scenes were happening, I was in it. I was like, yes, finally, we're getting revenge. We're getting that female rage. We're getting that witchy magic. And then next page is like, okay, all done. Back to the misogynistic men. Oh my God, I was so annoyed. I was like, wait, that's all we're getting? It was 99% torture to these women. And I understand that that is what really happened and stuff, but this is a fictionalized story. This could have been a little more. We could have gotten a way more witchy elements. We barely got any. And I was just so annoyed by how these men were just getting away with what they were doing. And then when it finally came to that, like, that rage and that revenge part, I was like, that's it? That's all we're gonna get? After reading all of that, that's what you're giving me? Oh my gosh, I was just so upset. When I was justifying, I was like, maybe 3-star, but no, I can't do it because this pissed me off. This pissed me off. So unfortunately, this did not work out for me. I will be unhauling this. So sad about it. I'm so devastated. Like I wanted to love this so bad. But sadly, it is a 2.5 star and it is what it is. What can you do? These are witch purple cover and also a witchy book prompt. Now the ones I have to finish is celestial cover. I think that's it. If I'm missing anything else, I'll put it on the screen. I know I have to light the candle, a drink and stuff. That's we're still gonna do that. But as for the celestial cover, not only is the celestial cover, oh my god, this cover is so beautiful. A magical girl retires. This sounds like a fun. There are little stars around the cover. So I would definitely consider this celestial. 155 pages. So I can get to it, I can get through it fairly fast. As a millennial turned magical girl must combat climate change and credit card debt in this whimsical and wildly imaginative ode to magical girl manga. That's doing something to me right now. That is doing something to me. So we're following a 29-year-old depressed, drowning in credit card debt. After losing her job during the pandemic, a woman decides to end her troubles by jumping off Sol Mapo Bridge. But her attempt is interrupted by a girl dressed in all white. Ah Ro. Ah Ro. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. The clairvoyant magical girl is on a mission to find the greatest magical girl of all time, and our protagonist just may be that special someone. This just sounds like it's gonna have like be funny, entertaining, and relatable moments because we're following a millennial. I'm a millennial, and life is so hard, and I feel like we're definitely gonna have some conversations about that and just real life stuff, but also being in like a magical element. Oh, I love it! I love it. I have finished the last two books in the vlog, so let's talk about it. So first, let's talk about A Magical Girl Retires. I had higher hopes for this, honestly. I think, I don't want to say this was like lazily done, but I feel like it didn't take much effort to do it. And I think it would have benefited to put just a little more love into it because this could have been so much more fun. But I felt like it was very average and just like okay. I did appreciate the message that the author was trying to portray about climate change, about how life beats you down, how life is hard as you get older. Like I appreciate the message for sure, but it was just very surface level, very surface level. I wound up settling on a 3 star. It was just okay, nothing memorable. I will be keeping this on my shelf though because I think it's absolutely stunning. So, yeah, I was expecting a bit more, but unfortunately, it is what it is. 3 stars. And then I did finish It's One of Us by JT Ellison. And to be honest, I had so much fun with this. This was so fun. I rated this a 3.5 star. I did predict the bad person, the bad person in the book. There was a couple of reveals that I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, that was cool. I mean, I would have like it wasn't like a shocking, it wasn't shocking whatsoever, but it was still very entertaining, very quick to read as well. The audiobook was done phenomenally by Julia Whalen. I love her narration. And overall, I just think this is a very entertaining popcorn thriller. If you just want something to give your brain a break, this is perfect. I love the cover. I don't know if I'll be keeping this on my shelf. For now, it's going to be chilling on my shelf. Maybe I'll recommend it and add it in a few videos. But yeah, once I've done that, I think I will unhaul it because I'm just not trying to keep books that I'm not obsessed with, although this was a good time. So I would recommend this. But yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't like something new to the thriller genre or anything like that. If you want something that you can digest very easily, I think this would be great. So I wound up settling 3.5 star. And that is going to conclude this vlog. Morning, I wound up making my celestial drink and my candle and just finishing up my reads before I got ready for the day. and it was very calming. It was very relaxing. The elixir that I used, that is like an herbal blend. It had like blood orange in it. It was delicious. It was very delicious. Now, it was an uplifting type of elixir. I didn't see an uplifting effect. It tasted good. So, I mean, I think it has like health benefits. It looks really pretty and it set the mood for sure. But yeah, other than that, it just tasted really good. And I could see that being like chilled with like ice and lemon, and I think that would have been elevated a little more and made it very refreshing for the summertime. So, I did enjoy that. But overall, I had such a fun time doing this video. I had a lot of fun reads in this video, and I read so much in this video. So if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much for watching. If there is any books that you think I should add to any of my videos, please let me know in the comments. Or if you just want to yap about books, leave it in the comments because I love talking about books. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day.